It's time for the Chips and Salsa Show.
The only show about Latinos for Latinos. And did we mention Latinos?
It's the Latísima.
Latinos come in all flavors, shapes, and sizes. You don't have to be Latino to enjoy chips and salsa.
People love chips and salsa.
Welcome to a very special edition of the Chips and Salsa Show in New Mexico. I am one of your co-hosts, Alice Lara, here as always with my partner in podcast crime,
Zeke Rodriguez.
Zeke, the Zekeinator. Zeke is a veteran, U.S. Air Force. Thank you very much for your service.
Yes, thank you.
And we're having a very special show today because it's Memorial Day 2024, and I became aware of this group through my good friend Mary Alice Koenig, and also hopefully soon to be an elected person for New Mexico, but candidate Elizabeth Winterrode. And this is the Organ Mountain Veterans Coffee Group. I'll introduce you to these two young men here in just a moment. But please, if you can, Memorial Day, I think sometimes is a little bit forgotten with the picnics and things like that. So we really want to focus on the true meaning and highlight this great local group. So if you can, think about it, share it, and we really appreciate that. And I mean, we owe so much to our veterans. So without further ado, I would like to introduce first to my left, we have Raul Sanchez. Okay, and I'm going to ask you to pronounce, I know you're adjutant, I'm going to mess up this name, Adjunctant Secretary?
I'm the Adjutant Secretary for the group. Yes.
Okay, wonderful, awesome. And then we also have the Commander, Larry Franco.
Yes.
Great. So we wanted to invite them here to tell about their group, which is relatively young, right? So tell us about the Organ Mountain Veterans Coffee Group. And for those of you who may not know, we record the show in Las Cruces, New Mexico, but very close as you head up on your way to Alamogordo and to the Organ Mountains. That's the Organ, the community, it's Organ, right?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about your group, when it was formed, a little bit about what you do.
Okay. The Organ Mountain Veteran Coffee Group was started 8 years ago. 4 of us got together at the Organ Community Center, and we would drink coffee on Mondays and eat donuts and tell lies to each other about our military service. That's how it started. And then we got a couple more, and a couple more, and a couple more. 4 years later, we had a dozen fellas. Well, Don Ernst, a New York military Army 20-year man, he decided we should get more serious. So we have. We are now a 5014C IRS program. By the state of New Mexico, we are a nonprofit today. We've done our paperwork. We do our PR. We turn in our little forms for taxes and such. And today, we're 60 members strong. Our mission statement is, we as our group, we help widows, orphans, veterans, handicapped, individuals who need help in the Organ community proper. We do landscaping, light plumbing, light maintenance. We maintain the Christian Fellowship Church in Oregon. We do the maintenance inside and out. We maintain the slumbering cemetery in Oregon. Landscape, we plan burials. We issue plots to the Organ community veterans. That's what we're doing.
Wow, you guys do a lot.
Yes, it's quite challenging. Like this week, Thursday, there is a 81-year-old officer, Army, who asked me this week to help him clean his yard. So 8 of us on Thursday morning are going to take our riding mower, our weed eaters, and we're going to tear up his yard and make it look pretty. He's got about an acre, so it's quite tedious, but we do it, and we do it for no charge. We just like to help.
You guys are like borrow husband. All the stuff you guys do is like the honey-do list, but like for the whole community.
Yeah, we focus on the Organ community. We're not large enough to take on, for example, Las Cruces. We hope to do that one of these days. But presently, we focus on about a 5-mile radius of the Oregon community.
Yeah.
Now, how many members do you have, and are there any criteria or qualifications to become a member of your organization?
Presently, we have 60 members, and we don't have a criteria per se. We have veterans, of course, and then we have what's called auxiliary members. These are people that are not affiliated with the military in whatsoever, but they want to help. So we take them in. They help us. We do garage sales to raise money. We sell tickets, raffle tickets for different items that we raffle. We have enchilada dinners, and all these folks get together, and we make our money to continue the program. It takes a little money to all of us to take our trucks up to this job, the gas and the weed eater string and all that kind of thing. And lunch afterwards, we love it. I mean, the guys, I just can't say enough.
I can imagine it's good camaraderie. I hope I said that word right.
Yes.
I failed to ask you, both of you, tell us, what your military background is and how long you were in. And
Oh, okay. Myself, I started with the Army in refrigeration, and from there I went to missiles. I've been involved with about 5 or 6 different missile systems, to include Chaparral, Stinger, Avenger, Patriot, Vulcan. In 20 years, you can go through quite a few programs. And my favorite missile was the Stinger. I loved it. It was a little shoulder-held item that could take anything out of the sky.
very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you, sir, Raul?
I was drafted right out of high school in 1966, and in 1967 I was in Vietnam. I served from 67 to 68 with I was an Army engineer attached to the 25th Infantry Division. And after I got out of the military, I got very involved in the VFW, and through I was dating this gal, and I did not know it at the time. I didn't know anything about the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and her dad, which became my future father-in-law, he was a commander of a local VFW in the South Valley here in a little town called Chamberino, New Mexico. So he got me involved in there. And at that time, the Vietnam vets, and I hate to say this, but it's the truth, were not well liked. Okay, we went through, when we came back from the war, we were not welcomed like other vets were. And so I had a little bit of trouble with other vets that had a different view of the Vietnam War, which they said it was not a war, it was just a conflict. But anyway, as time went on, more Vietnam vets joined the VFW, and then we got more respect. And eventually, I loved the VFW so much that I became a district commander, and then I became a post commander, and then eventually I became the state commander for New Mexico.
Wow.
In 2009, 2010. And it was when I was a member of I'm still a member, I'm a lifetime member, Gold Legacy lifetime member of the VFW here on 5845 Baton Memorial West. That's the VFW Post 6917.
That's right off Highway 70, yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
right
okay, I know
off,
where that
right
is.
off the, what is that exit?
Is that Porter?
Porter exit. Yes, ma'am. And we have, I'm still a member, and we got to give them a lot of credit for the success of the Oregon Mounds Veterans Group, because they have helped us financially. and quite a few of our members are also members of the VFW.
That's great.
So they help us financially, and we partnership with them, and which we'll talk about later. Organ Days and Veterans Day and Memorial Day, of course.
Cemetery.
Yeah, and I don't want to leave Zeke out. Zeke is a veteran also. U.S. Air Force.
Right.
You know, a lot of our listeners already know a little bit about your background, but I think you should share. I think it's appropriate.
Oh yeah, I joined the U.S. Air Force in 2003 when I graduated high school. I had enlisted when I was 17. My parents had to sign me up because I had gotten in so much legal trouble. I was in that program. Basically, either you go to jail or you join the military. So when I was 17, I had like 50 speeding tickets, reckless driving, careless driving, possession of drugs. All my friends were going to jail. And so I was like, I'll join the military. I ain't trying to go to jail. So they wiped my record clean. I joined the Air Force when I was 17. I got out when I was 22. I just turned 22. I was a military police officer, security police. I specialized in nuclear security. Did a little bit of law enforcement, but mostly did nuclear security for NATO. We did a joint task force with NATO, so we basically lent our weapons, our nuclear weapons, to NATO, to the Italians. It was a really weird mission, but yeah, we basically loan our nuclear weapons to other countries, guys. It's the most bizarre thing you could ever think of. But that's what I did. I did 4 years, active duty, honorable discharge, and that time traveling the world and just serving my country really gave me a totally different appreciation for America and for other veterans as well. You know, you just don't really know how awesome you got it here until you go to another country. I mean, Italy was basically a third world country, guys. I mean, it's like, you know, it's just a totally different way of living, and we have it so good here. And we have it so good because of the veterans, because people, men, soldiers decided to jump on a grenade, to sacrifice themselves for freedom. They decided to get in the trenches and die when they were 14, 15 years old when they founded this country. So I always have a special place in my heart for veterans, and I'll do everything I can to support the veteran movement. I never got involved with the VFW. I have been to some of the meetings and go hang out there. Sometimes I have a couple beers every once in a while, but it's cool to hang out and talk to you guys. I'm honored to have you guys here. What you guys do is like very altruistic. I mean, that's probably one of the most altruistic organizations I've ever heard of. Like, you guys do so much. Like, what is the motivation for that? Is there like a spiritual motivation? Is it like a sense of duty, a sense of honor, sacrifice? What is it that gets you guys to do so freaking much for the community, man?
I can help you with that. The veterans, that comes from the Veterans of Foreign Wars. We have a motto to help our fellow citizens, and like Larry said, help our elderly vets, or their widows and orphans in whatever we can. And there's the VFW sets aside charity funds, either through certain VFWs have gaming or bingo, other stuff like that, which they can use those funds to help nonprofits in the area.
Has to be nonprofit.
Huh?
Has to be a nonprofit.
No.
Not necessarily.
Like in our, like VFW 6917, they help a lot. The program, that NJROTC program.
Oh, okay.
At Centennial or Oregon Mountain High School.
So it was basically the mission statement of the VFW of giving back to the elderly, to the veterans, to the community.
Yes.
That same ethos kind of was put onto you guys, and you guys just kind of continued it in your own way.
That is correct.
Okay, wow, fascinating. I never heard of it like that. I never heard of it like that. The VFW being so altruistic, and then you guys.
Yes.
They're very supportive. We couldn't have done some of the missions that we do without them.
I like how you say missions.
There you go.
'Cause it is a mission.
Still on mission.
Yeah, that's hard to talk.
It is a mission. These things you guys are talking,
It
it's not
is
easy
a
stuff.
mission.
Landscaping a freaking acre of land,
Yes.
is not easy. That's a mission for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thrilled that you're talking about, so they still have ROTC in the schools? That's still, because, when I was in
Yes.
Yeah.
high school, they had ROTC programs. Is that
It was
pretty
huge when I
prevalent?
was in. I don't know if it's gotten any bigger or smaller or.
It's still alive in
Oh
the
yes.
schools.
Yes.
They got big programs,
Yes.
and they have Navy and they have Army here locally, Air Force. So
Do they allow guns? Probably not loaded?
They have
For
they
training?
have what they call a pellet rifles, and they have a marksmanship team.
Cool.
And last year, I think it was last year, our VFW donated so much for their uniforms, and I think for a couple of rifles and stuff like that.
Wow.
To help them out, yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
great.
that's what it's all about.
I have so many questions, but before we go on, and Zeke had a great idea. I think you're going to do it. Because this is our special Memorial Day show,
Yes.
we want to give the real history, because Memorial Day, as I understand it, is more for, our guys and gals that have left us. I don't have military background, but all my brothers were in the military, and my dad is a World War II vet. And we have a beautiful park here, the Veterans Park over there on Roadrunner, and my dad's name is there, Alejandro.
Oh, cool, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's really
We gotta
cool.
take a picture there together.
Yeah, we should. We need
Yeah.
to go down there.
For Memorial
That's-
Day.
That's very cool.
good.
We should. So I'm going to toss it over to Larry. He's going to tell us, right, about
Sure.
Memorial Day.
Well, Memorial Day is to honor fallen vets who have given their lives in the line of duty through all of our battles. And it's a great day. We're having a ceremony ourselves and the VFW at the Slumbering Mountain Cemetery on Monday, this coming Monday,
Okay.
at 11 o'clock. We raise a flag, we have taps, we have weapons. We honor the fallen with the weapons. We have someone singing the national anthem. We have a flag folding ceremony. And then the VFW gives a little ceremony talk about Memorial Day. And we have a pastor that talks a bit about the reason for Memorial Day. Excuse me. And after that, we're all going to go to the VFW and have hot dogs and hamburgers. And it's a beautiful event. Last year we had a couple of hundred people out there at the cemetery witnessing this little program.
Wow, and that's pretty good because Oregon's not a very big community.
It's not 200 people. It's like a flood.
That's a lot. Y'all did good.
Yeah, that's what trips me out the most about you guys. I mean, you guys are killing it. It's so awesome what you guys do for the community. Just your spirit in general is like massive. And you guys got 200 people in that area. It's like there must be some crazy energy up there or something like that, huh?
Veterans can attract. It's just a matter of getting the word out. Like today,
Right.
we love it.
Yeah, I'd love to get more involved with you guys and learn more about what you guys are doing. And the truth is, I love that area. That's probably my most favorite area in all of New Mexico. Organ Mountain right there, Soledad Canyon, Dripping Springs. I go there and I freaking nature bathe all the time. I was living in Albuquerque recently for a little bit, and I miss those mountains. So it doesn't surprise me that you guys bring that type of energy to the table, being in that extremely gorgeous area. I mean, it's just a gorgeous place to live.
Yeah, I would mention that where the ceremony's at, it's called the Slumbering Mountain Cemetery. The street name is Heavenly Lane.
Wow. That's
And
cool.
It was designed years ago. We put up signs so people could find it
Right.
ourselves, because the county didn't have signs for the little road. It's on the maps, but no signs.
So where is it at?
Well, if you go to the little town of Oregon,
Right.
Highway 70,
Yeah.
you hit 2nd Street. The streets in Oregon are very well organized. 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. That's it, 4 streets.
Oh, okay.
So, and they're on the highway on the north side, it's marked. So you go to 2nd Street, you make a left, you go to the end of town, which is 2 blocks, and you intersect Furnace Street. Furnace, you make a right, and you intersect Heavenly Lane.
Okay.
And the cemetery can be seen because we have a flagpole there that we put there. And again, Don Ernst, the instigator of us becoming official and helping the community, he decided one day for us to take over the cemetery. It was a mess. You can imagine a cemetery that's been neglected for 20 years.
Dang.
So we went there, BFW included, 20, 30 members. We weed-eated, we cleaned, we shaped it up really nice. So presently, we've hung our own sign. The Organ Mountain Veterans Coffee Group manages and maintains that cemetery.
You want to tell them
That's
a little
great.
bit about all the veterans that are buried there?
Go ahead. Yeah, we got some great history there.
There's a lot of history there, and the first time I was introduced to that cemetery, I said, "Where is it?" It's underneath all those mesquite trees and everywhere, you know. So we started clearing them out and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And there's veterans there from the Spanish-American War.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
And from the Confederacy, Texas Confederacy.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
The Dragoons. That's a organization way
Did
back.
You know that? Did you know that?
There's some out
A
there.
lot of people don't know
There's
that.
World War One, Two. There's a lot of vets out there.
There was a lot of combat action right there on the other side of the mountain too, right? Wasn't there? There was like a big Buffalo Soldier
Yes.
accident back there. I heard, right? Like a bunch of them got wiped out from an
There's a
accident.
lot of history in that area.
There's a lot of history in it. Well, it's a rich area with
Buffalo
resources.
Soldier issues with Apache,
Mm-hmm.
and also the Confederacy and the Union Army had a battle
Yep. There.
in the area. Up there.
Wow.
Baylor Canyon. That-
Really?
Oh yeah. That Baylor Canyon is named after a Confederate officer.
Oh.
He had taken over Mesilla back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was run out of there by the Union.
Damn.
They were headed back to Texas through Baylor Canyon.
Oh, they're gonna go the back way. Okay.
Yeah.
Through the pass.
Yeah, that was the only pass at the time.
Uh huh. Wow, that's so interesting.
I mean, they found weapons up there back from that era. Just
What of a hell of a place to battle at with all the mountains and the rocks and stuff like that. That must have been a crazy
A lot
battle.
of hiding places.
A lot of hiding places, a lot of vantage points, you know?
yeah.
You know, in outside of Tucson, I think it's Picacho Peak called, and they do a reenactment there in Arizona.
Mm.
And it's because, you know, people forget we had a north and south down here.
Yep.
And this is awesome. Do they ever do something like that?
Not that we know of.
Not here that I'm aware. Well, I take it back. At not Fort Baird, but
Porcello?
the fort that's out here by Ruidoso, the other side of
No, I
Ruidoso.
have no idea.
Stanton.
Oh, Fort Stanton.
Fort
Yeah.
Stanton.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can go on their history day, and these Confederate boys, they come dressed in the full garbage. I mean,
Wow.
uniforms with cannons, horses. They do charges. It is the most nice weekend you ever want to go. It's just really nice, and it's once a year, and they have the parade grounds there. That was their post for a while, and they do it every year. The reenactment of all of the Confederate business that was there. It's really neat.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, what do you got? That city sounds so cool. There's so much history there. Like, one, there should be a museum there. You know, I mean, I don't know how you go about.
In Fort Stanton?
No, where you guys are at? Up there in
Oh.
Oregon. I feel like there should be a museum there with the awesome cemetery you got there.
Well,
I mean,
tell them what our main mission is to erect there.
Okay. We've been brainstorming, and presently we're going to contact from the governor to the state senators,
We have contact.
representatives.
Wow.
We're going to write letters to all these folks. We want an Organ Mountain Veteran Cemetery.
State cemetery.
I think that's
State,
great.
State
Cemetery.
cemetery.
I'd love to try to help with that anyway. I think it's well deserved.
Thank you.
And can our audience can also,
Yeah, it's in the works. If anybody knows how to make that happen, to contact some of these representatives, it's in the works. There's BLM property up there by the existing cemetery,
Yes.
Yeah, it's all BLM back there.
and there's state property out there.
Yes.
Hello, state. We need some money to make this happen. And there's 3 state cemeteries in the state, but nothing in Nothing
Nothing in
County.
Doñana County at all.
So that's
silly.
That's one of our main missions, is to make that happen.
Well, I know Jeff Steinborn. He's big on the BLM land, and he's he puts himself out there to be for the community, and wants to use that land to preserve our history and our culture. So if there was someone that I could think of that would help,
Oh yeah, he'll be getting a letter soon.
Yeah.
Asking him for help.
good.
Because he's pretty well versed in that sort of thing.
Exactly.
So he'll be
Well-
getting. We just haven't. We've got a rough draft. It hasn't been mailed to anybody yet, but soon we're going to ask for help.
that's great. I'm just thinking, this is an election year. So as you're out there supporting these candidates, this is something good to bring up as a topic.
And when it
Especially
would
in this area.
benefit all the area veterans, if the veterans right now, they want to be buried in in a military cemetery, they have to go to Fort Bliss.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Fort
or
Bliss, Fort Bear.
or Fort Bear.
Dude, bury me where you guys are at.
Yeah.
If I die, if everybody knows, bury me where these guys are
We
at.
know. Jot that down.
For real though, I love how much honor you guys have and everything you guys have done up there. That is a place I would like to get buried.
It would benefit a lot of our area veterans.
That's great. How would they contact you guys? What's the best way? Should they email you, call you?
Okay, presently,
We have a website now.
I don't have it with me, do you?
Is it on your card?
It's a fresh website.
No, we just developed this website this week.
We'll put it on the
Yeah, we'll put it
YouTube
on
descriptions. We'll have it up there.
Let me do a little quick commercial for you. So this is the Organ Mountain Veterans Coffee Group. If you live here in the Las Cruces area, I mean, it's not that far away to really go make a trip up there. You meet Mondays,
Mondays, 9
9
o'clock.
a.m. at the Oregon Community Resource Center, and that's 5580 2nd Street. Now we know how to get to 2nd Street.
That's our
right?
website.
Okay.
Oh, you have a new one?
We have a new website.
Oh, there
I
you
just
go.
know Tide to Light in the
I
area.
don't know if you
That's
can-
all
I
I
don't know if
know.
you can read it.
All right. So I'm just going to say it. So it's right here, JA, right? JAHOVAH. No, I'm sorry. That's the email. I'm sorry. Okay, here, I'm sorry. That's good. The Oregon Mountain Veterans Coffee Group.
.com?
Actually, you have the veterans, the Oregon Mountain Veterans Coffee and then you have GoDaddySites.com. You have to have the whole thing.
Yes,
Okay, so it's kind of a long one, but you can remember it. And like Zeke said, we will
We'll
post
post it.
it.
We'll put the
So
link
you
up.
can have it.
Yeah.
But it's the Oregon Mountain Veterans Coffee .GoDaddySites SITES.com. So I'm going to go ahead and give this email. It's what I started to do.
And you can keep that. You can keep
I can
that.
get that? Okay,
Yes,
great.
you can keep
Donations and raffle ticket sales, you can send them directly to the group, and the email for that, and that's going to Zelle via Zelle. So if you have Zelle, I know how to use it. Ta-da! Are you impressed? Because I'm a boomer. I know how to use Zelle. Okay,
I am impressed.
here's the email. It's JAHOVAHTRI@yahoo.com. It's kind of a long one, so we'll put it up there, but it's JAHOVAHTRI@yahoo.com. So you
Jehovah
support
Try.
these guys. Jehovah
Jehovah
Try.
Try.
Okay. And, this is just such a great group to promote. I never knew about you guys. I wouldn't have known if Liz hadn't sent me your information.
I'd heard about it, and I honestly, like, everything that we're going through in the world, the economy, the way it is, and the conflict, it's like, it's weird, but it's comforting, and it's like, it's a lot of really mixed of feelings, but I've seen a natural push into a barter system. I am in the, cannabis industry, for those who don't know, at a high level, and barter's huge, and just all around, people barter, and that's just kind of a natural transition with tanking economies. People get into a barter, and then I'm seeing more biblical Christ outreach stuff, and we just had a guest on that was kind of embodying that. And then there's a lot more of relying on your local community for support and help, and that's what you guys embody in spirit. So it's really cool to see the transition in the way that our community is working together, and it's just going from this like worldly kind of a thing that they kind of want to push on people to like, it's, you got to have your local community down. You got to rely on your neighbors for support. You got to rely on your barter system to get resources, and it's the church groups and guys like you that are actually making the real moves in the communities. So, it's really cool to have you guys on the show, and I think you guys are embodying a spirit that's going to be the future of the world. I think in the near future, where people like you are essentially, the local supports, the local backbone for these communities, man.
Thank you.
Larry and Raul, my dad, every once in a while, he probably had some pretty wicked nightmares. And he said he would never remember what he was dreaming about. But he probably did. He didn't want to share it with us. Guys from the greatest generation. And you guys, that's how you are. But I would think also doing this helps deal with, now it's called post-traumatic stress syndrome.
PTSD.
Used to be battle fatigue a long time ago. It's had different names for it. But I mean, it's a horrible thing. And not everybody who enlists as a veteran has to maybe go through the trauma. But still, it's got to be something good. I have a friend, and she had a really good theory. She said she thought that maybe the increase of that was because in the older days, especially World War II and stuff, all the guys had come back from war, and a bunch of them, when they were being shipped back, they'd be shipped together. So they could come and they had, be able to talk to their friends about experience and things they had been through maybe. and have that friendship. But now everything's so technological, they don't necessarily have that big long trip to try to get ready to come back. So I'd like your thoughts on that, and I just think it has to help with those kinds of feelings and emotions and dealings that our vets have to go through.
It does. PTSD is very prevalent right now in Vietnam vets. Well, we don't have much World War II vets anymore, but Vietnam vets, Korean vets, Iraqi vets, and Afghanistan.
Right.
And I've seen some bad cases of PTSD, and I have dealt with several when I was post commander over here, and to them, what I think is the worst thing to be is loneliness. So if you get them involved in community activities, stuff like that, get them out of their homes. It's like a therapy for them.
Yep.
And
purpose,
it has worked. Some of our members are and you know that we're not going to mention any names, but they have the PTSD issues. But when they get involved with us, you can see the improvement in them. You can see how involved they get.
Right.
And it really helps with their treatment, and the VA also is doing quite a bit now with their mental health treatments, because it is mental health as well.
I'd rather them hang out with you guys than hang out with the VA.
Yes, better place, right?
Because you are who you hang out with, man. You guys emit a really positive spirit, and I think that's very therapeutic too. Just being around other guys who are so sacrificial. You guys are very sacrificial, and it gives these guys some purpose, right? And I think that's really important.
Well, it's the camaraderie of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned earlier. I mean, I can hook up anyone ex-military, and we bond.
You bond
Right now. I mean,
100%.
It's just what we do. We're so used to depending on each other.
Right.
We still can. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm still not closer to anyone else than the guys I serve with. I mean, we still talk on Facebook and catch up with each other, and we still laugh and joke as if we were still stationed together.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of camaraderie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And can I tell you a little bit of how many hours we put so much into
Yeah, man.
service? Okay.
It's your mic, brother.
Being the adjutant and the secretary, we have two people, which is Don Ernst and my friend over there, Nick Canoe, that they're kind of like when they're out in community projects, they'll send me how many hours they worked, how many people were involved, how many miles were involved, and stuff like that. So from just January to today, we've done over 558 hours
Wow.
of community service. Okay,
Wow.
and like Larry says, it's the Oregon community, the town of Oregon plus some of the surrounding communities that we do.
I'm sure they'll be calling you everywhere.
Yes, and a lot of the properties in Oregon have either been neglected or the elderly just can't clean their properties anymore, and that's where our group comes in.
Wow.
We have a riding mower and several other lawnmowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Weed eaters.
trailers and stuff like that.
And landscaping is expensive,
And
man.
we are blessed because we have a lot of members that are savvy in all phases of the maintenance.
Yeah.
Like I'm a retired plumber. He's HVAC, right? And then we've got welders and all kinds.
You guys have the engineer to do,
Oh, yeah.
mindset, so you
we have
can
a
do anything.
machinist.
For sure.
We
Yeah.
have a machinist. We have, probably 18 Vietnam vets in our group. There's a bunch.
Well, a bunch. And it's all about giving back to the community.
There's something about that area. I guess it's because it's the land is like it's so open. It's still kind of free out there. It's still kind of wild westy out there. Is that you think that's the reason why a lot of veterans gravitate towards that area? I mean, I always envisioned building a house in that area.
Well,
myself.
Larry lives there.
Right, you live there. Do you
On
live in
top of
there?
a mountain. No, I live here on Hill Rise.
Okay, you're on Hill Rise. So Larry, you live out there.
I
Okay.
do. I live in the community, and I'm able to witness when I go for the mail run, for example. I look around the streets. Well, there's a house that needs some attention.
Oh, okay.
So then we just kind of knock on their doors, see if they need any help.
Wow, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's what he does.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's... Some of them think we're not telling the truth. You know, what do you want?
Yeah.
What are you here for?
Where's the sales pitch?
No charge.
We want to clean the yard for free. What?
Yes, yeah, we want to clean your yard.
That's fantastic.
That is so cool, man.
I want to make a plea too.
Or
If
we
you'd
want
like
to repair your roof, which you
Wow.
repair several roofs.
We've done roofs, plumbing.
And what's the
Bill.
most oddest request you've had, or something really kind of different? You thought,
What's the
wow.
others?
Uh-oh.
I bet we're in for some good stories. And if you'd like to donate, they'd be
Well-
happy to take some money.
Dog shit.
Dog sit.
Last-
Hey, you know what? That helps a lot,
Dog
man.
sitter.
Last week. well,
Last week.
Let me take it back. Last month, an individual passed away in Oregon, and it was a hoarder.
Yeah.
Oh.
So in his backyard alone, we took 12,200 pounds of steel to the salvage yard.
Dang.
That filled up 4 18-foot trailers. And it was junk. But the executive of the estate wanted it cleaned up, so we offered, and we did it. And now we're going to concentrate on the inside of the structure,
Oh, that was just the
which
outside.
is like, you can imagine a hoarder's home, business. We got our work cut out for us. It's going to take us a while to clean that place up. But that's what we do.
That is true community service. I mean, you already were in the military and gave all your time for that, and you're still doing it. I mean, duty bound.
We love it.
It trips me out that there's not more people doing this around the nation, because that's like, things can fall apart so quickly. You know, it's like, if we don't have guys like this out there in these types of communities, it's, you know, we know what's going to happen. It's all going to get dilapidated, and things are going to get maintained. It's going to become very ugly, and then before you know it, some global conglomerate's going to come in and buy everything up and turn it into a McDonald's or something. You know, but these guys keep the American spirit alive there. They keep it aesthetically pleasing, and they help these people out tremendously. They help the community out tremendously. It's like, why can't we do this more often? This should be more popular, basically, is what I'm saying. And it's, you guys are like above and beyond, but it's like, I feel like there's resources out there with our tax dollars that should be going into helping guys like you spread your message, do it for more communities throughout the country. It's a shame that that's not the case, you know.
Well, there could be a grassroots issue one of these days, you know, like you say. We just hope that it takes hold.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and I want to give a plug. In Phoenix, Arizona, my good friend Charlie Ellis, we would have him on. And he has an organization he started, Operation Enduring Gratitude. And kind of like you guys, and that's what they do. If somebody, like there's a veteran and they need a ramp built or whatever, he was in construction himself. And I always like to tell just this quick story. It's because it's so much like exactly the same concept and mission of what you do. So my boss, he had this big giant conference table. It was a beautiful conference table, but he bought a new one and he wanted to get rid of it. I'm like, oh man, I wonder if Charlie could come pick it up. And it was kind of a difficult navigation, if you will, because we were on the 10th floor.
Ooh,
So Charlie came, and this dude's still strong. Charlie, if you're watching, salute. He still supports us. He's awesome. And he came, and I don't know how he did it, but he grabbed that table, and in the elevator, I went all the way downstairs with him, and he put it in a truck. His girlfriend helped him. But it's just the mindset. And he has a lot of, once people find out about you guys, and you're going to get more volunteers, and they want to help. And it's just amazing, and it helps you feel good about the American spirit again.
Correct.
And you guys are the embodiment of that, and I just can't salute you enough.
Thank you. We built a ramp the other day for one of us. His wife was wheelchair bound,
Yeah.
so 40 sacks of cement, and
Damn.
10 hours later, we had him a ramp from his back door to the driveway.
Wow.
We got fellows that know how to work with cement. One of the boys, he's a cement man, so he led that show, and it was great. I mean,
And I'm sure somebody can go on your website, and you've got some pictures and stories of things
Yeah.
that you've
Oh,
done.
yes.
we have photographs of most of our projects now.
Do you have a Facebook site too?
What's it?
A Facebook site?
No.
No? That's okay. Website's
But-
good.
The website's got a lot in it, and it's newly created only because a lot of the younger generation, that's what they do.
That's what
Right.
that's what they're
So,
looking for.
last year for Memorial Day, one of the younger female vets couldn't find us. She said, "Don't you have a website?" I said, "No, we don't. I know how to build one." I said, "Come here, young lady."
That's great.
So she built one for us.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so it's just getting off the ground. I mean, just getting our feet wet. But it's got pictures of a lot of our activities, and it's a good thing.
And her mom's a vet, and she's a member of our.
oh, that's wonderful. You want to give her name out? Give her a shout out?
What's
Let's
Debbie?
see,
Debbie
Debbie Sullivan
Sullivan.
and
Sullivan.
Tara, her daughter,
Yes.
are instrumental in monitoring and managing this brand new website.
Yes.
And Samantha,
I can't.
I can't
Testing
pronounce
your
her
memory.
I can't pronounce her last name, but Samantha
Belletti.
Biloletti.
Or something like that.
She's Italian. I don't mean no punches. But she was the young lady that couldn't find us at the cemetery. She actually created the website to begin with. I sat her down at Denny's. She brought it up on her laptop. Bang, bang, bang. Cost us $60 to get it started. That was last month. She turned it over to the other two girls, and we're on our way.
They ran with it.
Just
Awesome.
one other step, a little closer to achieving what we want to do.
That's great. You know, I want to give a special thank you to Joey and Haley because usually we have a little different format on our studio here. And these guys were so wonderful and nice and brought in a bunch of flags, which they look beautiful. You want to talk a little bit about all these flags that represent?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, they represent, of course,
Each branch is.
the United States and the state flag, and the 6 branches of service are here, to include the new Space Force.
Oh, cool.
They're here. And then we have the VFW flag, and then we have the POW flag, and then this is our flag, the one in the corner. That is the Oregon Mountain Veterans Coffee Group flag. We made our own flag, and we like to take it wherever we go.
Well,
So there's
that's
12
nice.
of them, and we like to display them often whenever we can. We displayed them the other day for Rebecca Dow, who's running for office
She's great.
out at the cemetery in Oregon. She had a film crew out there, and we set them up for her, and she was enchanted with it. I mean, it really set the stage.
No, it's a great collection. Your flag is great too. So at the very top, they have the New Mexico,
Yes.
the Sunzias up there, just like the New Mexico flag.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job. I thought now, so you have events coming up. Do you have any other regular events? You've been
Yes, we
doing
do.
this for a few
Organ
years.
Days.
We have an event called Organ Days, and again, Mr. Don Ernst, the New York motivator for the club.
The name keeps coming up.
Oh yeah, Don. I nicknamed him the Energizer Bunny
Right.
because that boy. I can't keep up with him. He comes up with ideas after ideas after ideas, and I try to instigate what's going on. And anyway, this was his idea. He says that once a year we should get the community of Oregon together. We should kill a pig. We should give free food. And with that event, we have a bouncing balloon for kids. We have a climbing wall. We have about a dozen booths of different things for sale. We have folklorial dancers. We have music, live music, and recorded music. And last year we had 500 people for October Days.
We
You
did.
guys are rocking.
Wow.
And we didn't charge a thing.
So wait, how often is that event?
This is every first Saturday in October every year.
Which would be
October the 5th
October the 5th.
this year. And it's
Wow.
from 11 to 4 in the afternoon.
500 people. Dang.
Oh, it's quite an event. It keeps us rocking, busy. First of all, we got to kill a pig, and then we got to cook it.
How big is a pig? 350 pounds?
It was 400 last year. This year it's going to be 600-pounder.
Dang.
And that is a whole event in itself.
Right?
You know, the week before we massacre and prepare and get it all ready and start cooking. And then again, we set up a line of food. People come through, they sign a roster that they visited us, and that's all we require. And they can eat and they can enjoy the activities.
That's delicious. And in case you're watching, you're not familiar with Southwestern culture, this is a big cool thing when you do the pig. And you make the chicharrones. And
It's called a
man.
matanza.
Carnitas.
Awesome. Carnitas.
Yeah, and red chili, beans and rice, desserts.
We may have to visit.
Yeah, we're going to have to go hang out.
Oh, please.
Sounds delicious. And we're actually doing a matanza for Michael Caine. He's running for district attorney June 29th. I'll have that all listed up here pretty soon. Where'd you guys get a smoker for 600-pound pig? I had a hard time finding a smoker for a 300-pound pig.
Oh, no, we dice it up.
Oh, you guys dice it up?
Yeah, we dice it up.
We're going to try and smoke a whole pig.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
That's what he wants to do. He's from North Carolina.
Well, that's what
That's a big job.
That's what he wants to do.
That's what Don wanted to do.
Yeah.
I told him, Don, that's 600. Can't do it. It takes a whole bunch of equipment. We need to borrow stuff or big or whatever.
I found a guy in El Paso that would do it. I'm trying to get him to donate it, but he has enough to do a 300-pound pig. I don't think he can. 600-pound pig is. I don't think so, man.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he'd be able to do
That's
that.
what Don wanted to do it. He wanted to put on the spindle, and
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, dude, that's too much."
It sounds
work."
delicious.
So we decided to do it the southwestern way.
Mm.
Cut them up, red chili, carnitas, chicharrones,
Chicharrones.
and give it out. We don't charge a
Delicious.
thing.
How delicious was that? So that fed 500 people, that one 300-pound pig? No way. Did you guys give out like little portions or something?
No, they could come back for
Whatever they want.
seconds.
Really?
There was no limit. We lay out everything out, of course, and then we serve and give them whatever, And then when it runs out, it runs out. Luckily, we haven't run out of food yet.
Where's everybody coming from? 500 people? That's like 20 times the population of Oregon.
No,
Well-
actually, it's for everyone. Actually,
That one is like whoever wants to come.
So that's just word got around. or
Yeah,
there's
word
some
gets
hol-
out that there's free food.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
Okay.
And we tried a radio station the year before last,
Okay.
and that brought in a few people, but that cost us too.
Yeah, it's like
Couple
$1,000.
Couple
yeah.
hundred bucks.
A couple
you had
hundred.
to
We
pay
got a
for that?
discount. Huh?
You had to pay for the radio station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
want to thank Doñana County for it, where we meet,
Doñana County for
where we meet, and
yeah, sure. Doñana County has allowed us to use their facility, their community center in Oregon, for our meetings
for our meetings.
on Mondays at 9 o'clock, except holidays. And it's been great. Misty Dawn, the assistant
Property manager.
property manager, she's behind us 100%. She fixes the flagpoles, she just makes sure everything's functional, we can use it. For example, we can use the community center when we cook enchiladas to do a fundraiser.
Right.
As long as it's community outreach, they don't charge us to use the facility. Now, if it's an individual party, we're told you have to
Or
pay
something like that, yeah.
50 bucks an hour, which is still cheap,
Yeah.
But in this case, we're not charged, and we clean up after ourselves as well.
Well, I'll give,
And that's where Oregon Days is held, on the grounds of the
In the
community center.
center.
So I just find that very intriguing. You guys are just so giving and so, I mean, it's like altruistic, It's so the VFW is there, that ethos is there, and then I think a lot of that's from the military service too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are just the camaraderie. It sounds like you guys are really after, and you guys want to share that spirit with the community.
We do. We enjoy doing it, and there's just a warm, fuzzy feeling when we do that for the community.
And that's the thing. Yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt, but like
No. Go ahead.
for me, I like to give back and to sacrifice because it helps me feel good. it's kind of selfish, but like
No.
it feels good to do good things.
It does feel
It's
good.
very
Well, you
synergistic.
do it with the good heart, Zeke. You really do.
Well, I mean, it's these guys. I feel that same thing from them, where it's like it feels good to do good. you know, and you just want to keep doing it. And then you meet other people that want to do it too. Like, you know, with me and you partnered up with this thing, and you just kind of keep riding. And then here we are hanging out with these guys who are doing the same thing on a way bigger level. And it's like, you guys are doing the matanza, not charging a penny, and proud not to charge a penny. You know, you guys are doing stuff outside of your perimeter. You're outside of your parameters, and you guys are cool with that. It's like, and surprisingly, the city government supports you guys too.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that was the case.
Yeah, why don't you shout out to the county?
Yeah,
Right?
shout out to the county. Thank you for letting these men do what they do. It's just cool to see everybody come together, man. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And spreading your message. Is there?
Thank you for having us.
No, absolutely. So we're wrapping up here. We got about 10 minutes left, man. If Mr., you guys want to say anything, Raul, you guys want to end the show with some words of wisdom, a message, way to contact, anything you guys want, the floor is you guys, man.
The only thing I've got to say is there is a lot of people don't know the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. Okay? It's very important. Memorial Day is to honor our vets that gave the ultimate sacrifice, which was their life.
Mm-hmm.
And Veterans Day is to honor the veterans that are still with us. Some are in bad shape, but they're still here. That's Veterans Day. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of people think, it's a holiday, but they never say we're off from work thanks to our veterans for our freedom that we have here. And to a lot of people, it's just a regular barbecue, an off day from their work. And it's really not that. That's not the true meaning of Memorial Day or Veterans Day. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Well said.
Thank you.
Well said.
Very
So
good.
I want to mention just again before we go, we want to say this is, get your commander, Larry Franco, and then also Raul Sanchez, Secretary, Adjunctant. How do you say that word? It's not adjutant.
Adjutant. Yeah.
Adjutant.
Adjutant.
Adjutant. Okay, good. I wanted to say adjutant.
That's the VFW a word for a secretary.
Oh, okay. The fancy word for secretary.
Yeah.
Good. So please support these guys, and I'm honored that you're here. I'm so glad we got to meet you. Please come back again sometime over in the area, anytime you want to keep us posted on your events and things, and we'll promote them for you as well. And anything y'all can do to support these guys, I think it's great, and you're going to keep growing. And good luck on the cemetery. I think that's a great mission.
Yeah. Cemetery and museum. I'm going to be getting some free hog here coming up in October.
Free hog.
And I'll be out there hanging out too. I'll come have some coffee with you guys too, just to come chill.
Anybody's welcome.
Love to.
We have coffee, we have donuts, and a lot of camaraderie.
I'm down with that. That is something I'm super down with. I always get along with veterans super well. You guys are no exception. You guys are amazing, man. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys are doing. And yes, Memorial Day is for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. We would not be here because they've always been trying to take humans' freedom away from us. It's been like that for centuries upon centuries, and it was only on 1776 that we actually became free from the oppressors, and this country is the expression of that. The veterans are the ones who gave us that freedom, the people who fought with George Washington, a lot of people died in the Revolutionary War, a lot of people died in the Civil War, and it's just that spirit that you guys have to give back, to fight for the community. That same exact spirit is what freed this country. So, it's an honor to have you guys on, and thank you so much, man.
Yes, thank you for your service and your service now. And like your shirt say, freedom is not free. And I always like to impose on Zeke, but he does the best parting prayer. So
Yes.
let's close this out with prayer.
Lord, thank you so much for having these gentlemen join us here today to spread their message of altruism and giving back to the community. And I pray that you continue to give them the energy that they have and the power that they have to help their community and to emanate that beautiful spirit of sacrifice and fighting for one's beliefs and fighting for one's country. And that they continue to spread that message all throughout the world, not just here locally, Lord. Thank you so much for having them here on the show, and I just pray that they continue to go strong. Thank you, Lord.
Amen.
Praise
Amen.
God. Praise God.
So that was our special Memorial Day show. Please share this. And we have some new friends here that we've made, and we
Yes.
just really appreciate you guys for everything that you do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
You ain't
so
seen the
much.
last of me.
That's
Thank you
right.
so much for having us. We appreciate that.
We'll see you guys soon, man.
See you soon. Alice Lara with
All right.
Zeke
Come
Rodriguez,
visit.
This, sir, will do.
Chips and Salsa Show,
Later,
New
guys.
Mexico.
Thank you. Thank you, Alice.
Memorial Day. Thank you.